When you write content on the web, you have a very first general rule that you can follow. This rule is make the content simple. Simplicity is essential when you think of delivering information to busy people who have access to unlimited information, as we stated before. To make the content simple, it doesn't mean it is going to become for kids. So you might say in your head, doesn't that make the content weak? It is simple. Well, this type of content we are trying to write here doesn't become weak by being simple. This is because the purpose of the content and the lifestyle of the readers. So a space scientist who works with very complicated stuff doesn't want to open the web and find complicated content. If people want complicated content, they can go to specific books or scientific content. But on the web, no one is searching for complexity, no matter who. So yes, simplicity of online content is general, and it is a vital factor of making it better. In the most simple way, simplicity should help readers consume the content and understand it easily. You need to work through a number of processes that will help you make the content more simple. And that is what we are going through next. So let's take a number of practices and tips that will help in making the content more simple, and see how each can impact content. The first practice you need to follow to make your content more simple is to write shorter sentences. Shorter sentences help people understand content in less time, and they are more likely to continue reading if they can understand more easily. Here is an example. Content marketing is one of the best marketing practices that helps in building authority and taking customers through a journey of trusting the brand, leading to a purchase at the end of the journey. Reading something like this is not as enjoyable as the next paragraph we are going to read. You can write it like this. Content marketing is one of the best marketing practices. It helps businesses build authority and take customers through a journey of trusting the brand. This journey ends with a purchase. Here, I have told exactly the same thing, using the same words. All I have changed is that I broke the big sentence into smaller ones, and you can feel the effect of this in making the content better. This helps in making the content more readable and easy to consume. A general rule that you can consider for this is that sentences need to not pass an average of 20 or 30 words. If you go beyond this, you can expect that at least some of the readers will get bored and won't be able to read the content easily. Usually, you don't want it for web content to go beyond 20 words for each sentence. So this can be your target, 20 words maximum per sentence. In most cases, you shouldn't be exceeding 30 words as a maximum limit. If you notice that you're used to writing long sentences, begin to work on this. Rewrite content or just write paragraphs that have long sentences, and with time it will become how you write. Be patient. The second practice for more simple content is to make paragraphs themselves short. This is a very good practice for making users read your content more easily. Your paragraphs need to be anything but big chunks of text. My personal preference is not to make a paragraph that exceeds 70 words. So if you want to know a limit, you can use this. When you read content written by experts of content marketing, you will generally notice that the number of words per paragraph is much lower than this, even much lower than 70 words. A good number for words for paragraphs to make your content very readable is 30 words per paragraph. Surely you can go up at any time, but fewer is always better for understanding and encouraging people to read more. I have seen experts who are really successful and write paragraphs with an average number of words of even lower than 30. Targeting 30 will be just enough. Reading many resources that write smaller paragraphs will help you become more familiar with the whole thing. Also, for making paragraphs more simple, you need to make the start for each one to be clear to the point. So just get the main idea in the main sentence as much as you can, and especially if the paragraph is not continuing the previous one. The next example makes it more clear. This is an example from a blog I wrote for a software company. Better task and project management can save businesses much money, and can even be a reason why a business fails or succeeds. One of the biggest benefits of automating any workflow is allowing tasks to be clear for everyone, so that no confusion or miscommunication happens and no tasks are missed. Right here, I started the paragraph with the main thing I want to tell, which is that project management can have many benefits for every business. In the next sentence, I made clear how these benefits can be achieved. So there's a sequence here for the paragraph to be delivered clearly. Give a clear point, then the details. That's what you need to do with every paragraph, except clearly when it is completing the previous one. Another practice that helps you in making your content more clear is using simple words. Using words that readers don't understand won't ever benefit your writing on the web, because simply they don't care. No one is actually impressed if they meet words that they can't understand. People just want it clear and simple, so keep your words clear and simple always to win the readers. In many cases, you also need to avoid jargon. And there are the cases in which you are expecting people to not know the meaning of a word you're writing. For example, if you're writing an article about fixing refrigerators, if you want to mention something like the compressor impeller in your content, then you have two choices. If you think that the readers are engineers and they will know what a compressor impeller is, then it is okay to just use the term here. If you're writing for any homeowner who actually shouldn't be an engineer, then it is just jargon for him or her. And you really need to make it clear what the term means as early as you mention it. If you leave a word that people don't understand in your content and the reader knows nothing about it, it will just make them feel this content is not for them, and will make them feel it's too hard and they can just leave, which is not what you need and what you're working for. So you need always to take care of this, and the key is whom you're writing to. You also don't need to overdo this, so just clarify a term clearly and briefly one time, and it is enough. Don't be too concerned about making readers understand in the way you get them bored of reading an explanation over and over. So these were simply a few practices for making your writing more simple. There are surely other aspects that we will get to later from another side. For now, those are enough practices to go and train and to keep in your mind.